Hi, this is Dorothy with Dot Scrapbooking, and I am going to continue my Blossom videos. And this part is the card part. So there are 4 cards that I'm going to make with the cut pieces from the first video. Now, the only thing I added to the first card is this white piece because they had me stamping directly on the card, and it was a little bit harder technique-wise to do what they were asking to do, which is kind of things like bleeding off the edge and splattering and what have you. So this is my way of kind of cheating, and I just took the remainder of the space, the white space on the card after putting the color pieces in place. And so the first thing I'm going to do is use the second stamp that was included in the workshop. Now what I'm doing is putting the little pad underneath my craft mat here, and it's because I'm going to be doing a lot of bleeding off the edge, and the craft mat will just wipe up real super simply. And I'm just seasoning the stamp and making sure I'm getting a good impression from it before I put it on the official card. So I put the little pad underneath there so I can still have, a good squish factor to give the full impression. So this makes up for any unevenness of a firm surface. So when you squish, kind of press into the soft piece, then you're going to get a better impression. And so then I just take my little moist micro rag and wipe it up like nobody's business. I mean, goes from something to nothing. It's so cool. So there's all these cute little leaves and different kinds of flowers on this stamp set. And if you remember from the beginning, this stamp set is actually set up to be able to make your own invitations. And so I'm not going to be having a party anytime soon, no kind of wedding shower or baby shower or anything. So I am just going to use a couple of other stamps to put whatever sentiment I want rather than making an invitation. But you could totally make an invitation. It's got time, date, place, RSVP, all that stuff on there. So that's kind of cool if you want to do that. So I'm just making sure I have a good season on my stamp, and I am putting the leaves in place. Except I realized that I have the bigger leaf here than the thinner. I just realized that there was a second leaf that looks very similar, but is a little bit slimmer and a little bit shorter. Probably didn't make beans worth a difference which leaf I used, because who's gonna know? But this is a nice little leaf too. It's kind of open at the top. So there we go. There's that little leaf. And I hadn't thought about using the craft mat and putting the little mat under it. That just kind of happened. So one thing I like about the Blossom layouts and cards is that they like splattering. And so I'm all for that. And we're using the Lagoon shimmer brush to do all the splattering, both on the 3 scrapbooking layouts and the 4 cards. So, and it's so nice because it leaves, it's not just the color, but it's the little glimmer and shine that the shimmer brush leaves. That's so pretty. So I like this little branch set, and that's gonna get snugged up onto the flower. And there's, you know, and if you don't know what bleeding off the edge is, it's just when you take an image and you don't put it fully on the area of interest. So it's falling off the edge, like this little branch right here. So I'm just kind of moving it around and then pressing down, and both ends are coming off the top and bottom. So that's called bleeding off the edge. And it's a nice technique. So I don't really think about it as a technique, but it really is. And so it's another technique you can add to your array of techniques. So, and it's kind of fun to put all the things that you've learned together on different things. So what I'm doing here is getting a good stamp, and then I'm doing another technique called second generation. So the second generation is taking the initial stamping of the ink off and stamping your area with what's left on your little stamp. So of course it's lighter. So that's second generation. So here's a, you know, it's another technique to, and I just did this second generation on the little flower centers. I actually did a second and a third generation. So here's my shimmer brush. So I'm making just a little bit of a puddle with a little squeeze and hitting the edge of the brush and just making some splatters here and there. I get a lot more aggressive and get some big blobs later on. But anyway, there's something about this technique that I mean, it's fun to do. So you have to try it. So you don't have to use a shimmer brush. You can use watercolors. You can use our inks and get a, whoops, sorry about that, get a one of our watercolor brushes where you put water in it and you pull up some color from whatever ink color you want and then splatter it around. So you can do it with watercolors, you can do it with our ink stamps, and you can do it with shimmer brushes. You know, anytime you're dealing with wet and color, then you can use the splatter technique. So I'm just putting a simple congratulations on this card. So this can go for kind of whatever. It could be for anything. It doesn't have to be. And I didn't put my thing over on the little pad. Shame on me. See what I talk about, the uneven flat surface. So now, because we've got clear stamps and clear blocks, I can manipulate the stamp I can kind of see through it and fill in my blank thing and make the rest of it a little bit darker. So there you go. That was an inadvertent technique by me not paying attention to where, see, I need to see where my little pad is, apparently. It's a good idea if you remember to, put your thing down on the area where the pad is. And so the other thing we're going to do is we're going to pull out the first stamp set that we got in this workshop, in this kit, of that border. And I'll use my 1x6 and just kind of lay the bumpy surface down flat and then pick it up on the flat surface with my block. That way I know I'm getting a straight, my border is going to be straight and not slightly curved. So I'm doing it on the darker side of the lagoon. So this is lagoon on lagoon. And it's crazy. It still shows up, right? I mean, does that not kind of hurt you? Kind of hurts my head. But anyway, you get lagoon on lagoon and it actually shows up. So I keep on running out of my Tombow here. So I go through a lot of Tombow, I have to tell you. You may have noticed that. But I could get an ATG gun and have the bigger rolls, but I just can't handle something that big. My hands are fairly small, and I have a harder time gripping bigger things, and it's getting harder as I get older too, to just grip bigger things. So it's easier to have something small in my hand and not heavy. So there we go. So now we've got our 1/2-inch lagoon border with the border stamp on it, and we've got the nectarine 1/4-inch piece, and then I put my stamped congratulations on the top, and there we go. And so that actually makes kind of a cute little card. So pretty simple, you know, nothing super hard to do. And the techniques that we've gone through, I forgot to put my little banner flags on here. Nothing that we've done is exceptionally hard. And, you know, look at all the techniques that you're doing. So, you know, if you think you can't do something, you may want to think again. Because I think you can. So here we go. And believe me, I've told you before, I am not artistic. My degree is in biology. I never did art. And so all of this, I didn't start doing until I was in my 50s, my late 50s, as a matter of fact. So I've been doing it for, I don't know, 16, 17 years. But you can pick this up at any time. That's what's kind of cool about it. And this little lovely sticker goes right on top of there. And see, I almost missed that completely. So there we go. That's a cute little card. And it's a simple card to make. And you don't have to be that fussy. You know, you could just put a sentiment on there and a couple of other little embellishments, and that would be cool too. And you've made a homemade card. And people are really, I have to tell you, people are really impressed with homemade cards. I get all sorts of weird comments about making cards, and anyway, it's fun to do, and it does impress people. Or maybe I shouldn't say impressed. Maybe I should say, I think people appreciate it when you're making them something. I mean, it's just, you know, it's saying, you know what, you're special to me in a way that most other people aren't showing. And so I'm going to get myself in a hole here, so I better not say anything else. But I think people really appreciate when you do something special for them. So I put that smoothie piece a little bit down too far. I should have scooched it up. But I'll worry about that later. Okay, so the smoothie is down, and then the Blossom namesake paper is down. And I'm not going to use the dark side of Nectarine. I think it's a little bit overpowering for this, although only a little bit is showing. But still, I'm going to use the lighter side. And you can choose. You don't have to follow the instructions just because that's what, you know, if you like the lighter side or the darker side, you pick what you like. And so we're going to do some more flower stamping. And this time we're going to use the smoothie ink. I need to really re-ink some of these pads of mine. The pads last literally just forever. I mean, I have some original pads that I got, close to my heart, ink pads, from 17 years ago. I mean, they just, nothing happens to them, and you can just continue to re-ink it as long as you're, using the same color. But, we change our colors out. We, just like Pantone changes the color of the year out all the time, we do too. And we go with the color trends, either going by, well, everybody follows Pantone, but we kind of, no smoothie leaves. We go by the what fashion and paint for the house. This is all Pantone, which is like the major color. I don't even know what to call. They kind of pick the colors for the different industries, whether it's a fabric industry or paint industry or arts and crafts or whatever. Pantone is the one who picks the colors, and then did it again. Everybody kind of follows the lead of Pantone. So Pantone is it's definitely cool. The graphics, your advertisements, anything you see on TV, in magazines, in the newspaper, on billboards. I mean, Pantone colors, dictate what's being used at the moment. And so close to my heart follows the Pantone colors of the year. And so we're always on trend. Our colors, and now I don't know who does designs, but our designs and our colors are always on trend with what is popular at the time of the whatever year we happen to be in. So now we're using this cute little, I like this little spray, little twig spray. And we're doing it in Lagoon. So we're flipping the colors around, which is kind of fun. Isn't that nice? It's a well-balanced design for the sentiment card. I don't know what else to call it. The sentiment portion of the card. And we're doing a little bleeding off the edge there, just enough to fill in that little space. So I really like the way these cards turned out. I was thinking of not doing them, but I thought, oh, what the heck. Go ahead and do them. And, I end up with probably hundreds of cards. And I gave away just a big box load of cards to a group. What is it called? It is called Cards for Kindness. They have, it's from scrapbook.com, Cards for Kindness. You can send cards. They prefer cards that are empty on the inside, and all different kinds of cards. I mean, and they prefer the A2 cards with envelopes. And so, I don't know enough people to, I got some blobs on that one, but that's okay. I don't know enough people to send all the cards I make to, but it's a great organization. They send it to shut-ins, people in nursing homes, to wherever somebody needs some cheering up. And so I thought, okay, that's what you need to do. Don't need to hold on to them. What's the point of that? So that was, I found that very pleasurable to do that. Anyway, I am using a sentiment from the upcoming March stamp of the month, which has these beautiful butterflies and dragonflies on it. And it has sending you get well wishes. So it's getting stamped in Smoothie to match the flowers. And so you don't have to use all congratulations, on your little one. I don't know anybody who's having a baby right now. And, but I do know people who are sick. So that came out. I was happy the way that came out. It's a good thing nobody sees that side, right? Now you could pop this up. That would be totally okay to, and went through another roll. You could totally pop that up. And that would be, a nice dimension added to the card. So, and you can add the foam pop-up tape or dots, and you don't have a problem with mailing. So now I added some of the gems to a card or two, and those can be problematic for sending. They get kind of can rip the envelope up, and so if you don't want to, if you're going to send something, like it's okay in the scrapbook pages, but if you're going to send something through the mail, then you may want to pull out your gold stickles and use the gold stickles for embellishment. That way you're not interfering with the mail. Okay, so lots of little shiny blobs on that one. Some big splatters. So the third card uses one of my favorite title stamps. It's the Cherish one that we cut out with the thin blocks from the first go around with the scrapbook layouts. And so, let's see, there we go. And I mean, look at how this is really pretty simple. Okay, so we did the Cherish thin cut. Okay, that was, the thin cut, cutting it out and inking it was really pretty darn easy. And so here we're taking, so the height of the half card there is 4 1/4 inches. So these two pieces are probably, I don't remember what they are and I don't have the instructions with me, but they're probably about 2 inches or so, and maybe a little bit less, maybe like 1 3/4. And so then I'm going to put a quarter, so if they were, so, and then 1/4 of an inch is going there, and then there's a little bit of white around the edge. So, I mean, look at this, it's very simple. And then you've got the Smoothie piece connecting the two. Okay, right there, you could just put Cherish on it, and that would be a card. But then we have this other little piece that's like 3/4 of an inch wide, and it's not as long as it's not the 5 1/2 inches long that the card is. So it's probably about maybe 4 inches or so. And so that's going to go partially over the Smoothie strip. So that's going to be a little backdrop, kind of a banner look, with the little bit of the Smoothie popping out on either side. And then the Cherish is going to get popped up with some foam tape. And there you go. I mean, these are not terrifically complicated cards, but they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. 5, not pieces, but a depth of 5 pieces on them. So it's not like, I say it's simple, but you've got a lot of texture, you've got a lot of color, you've got, interest with all the flowers, and then you've got this great cutout title for Cherish Every Moment for someone who's, for whatever reason in life. Sometimes things kind of knock you upside the head, and you still have to remember that, Good things can come even when there's some bad stuff going on. Hard to believe sometimes, believe me, I know. But if you have somebody really ill in the family, then you definitely want to cherish every moment you have with them. So I'm going to make another little flower, one of our little spiky flowers from the first set. And I think those are just so cute. And so I'm going to tuck that behind. So it's, of course, going to go flat with Tombow. And then I'm just going to tuck it behind the little banner and my cherish, and it's going to stick out. Not exactly what am I doing here? Oh, I forgot to put the centerpiece in there of the flower. So it was empty. So I've got we've got, see the little bit of the flower showing underneath the cherish. Very cute. Very, very cute. So when it picks up the smoothie from the little strip coming, and then there's a little flag that I'm taking off of the sticker sheet, and it is going to go right down at the bottom on the very edge of the green. So the one of these, one of those little sentiments is on, what does it say? On your special day or something. We'll see in a second. Anyway, that's going to go on the little flag there. And so we've used almost all of the stickers on the sticker sheet. So, you know, I love that. I love it that in the old days, Close to My Heart gave so much paper in the packages. I mean, it was like you could never, it was so many pieces. It was like over 24 pieces, and you just almost couldn't use it up. And so you had a lot of paper sitting around. But now we have, our papers are, number one, they're better papers than they used to be. This is from a long, long time ago. The paper is much higher quality, much thicker. And yeah, it says on your special day, cherish every moment on your special day. So that could be a birthday, it could be an anniversary, it could be retirement, kind of whatever whatever it happens to be. Anyway, so we've got better paper, higher quality paper with a beautiful white core. So when you rip it, the white core shows through. And our paper is almost as thick as the cardstock. So really high quality paper. And, I like being able to use up just about everything rather than having paper sit around and then you've got to figure out some kind of a organizing method so you can put your finger on the paper that is a certain color or a certain type that you remember. And a lot of papers just don't get used. So this way, we're almost using up everything in the kits. And I have to tell you, I feel so much better about that than having so much left over. So, I feel like I'm rambling on, but I think that's one of the reasons why I like our kits so much is because the card kits use up just about everything in the card kit. So you have nothing left and you have 16 cards to show for it. So if you want to make a lot of cards that you can, put in your big box and have ready to go for birthdays, for anniversaries, for, Christmas, for whatever the occasion, for get well, for sympathy. I mean, you want to have things available so you can just go to your box and pull one out and put it in the mail. Save yourself probably a couple of days from taking the time to go to the store and buy something. And, it's really nice to have these things available. So, those are the card kits. And then our scrapbooking, also, same kind of thing. Almost all the papers get used. And in the scrapbooking kits, the scraps that are left, you can totally make, some simple cards with. So I like that. I like that a lot. I feel a whole lot better than having so much left over. I feel like it goes to waste because a lot of times I don't go back to the older packages. On occasion I do, but a lot of times I don't. So I will have to go through the plan on that, just like I gave some cards to Cards for Kindness. I am going to go through, and it's going to be a hard job, but I'm going to go through my papers, and I have to kind of figure out how to give it to Children's Hospital so the kids can use it to make whatever stuff, but you kind of want to have, I don't know if you want to have colors together. I'm not really sure what would be really helpful for the people that help the kids with crafts when the kids are in the hospital for long periods of time. And they need to be kept active, and they need to be working with fun, pretty things. So that's what I need to do. I just need to find out from whoever works with the kids in arts and crafts to how they would like things. I have given in the past, I've given to my son's high school, to the art department in the high school. They loved it. Art teachers loved it. So if you have a lot of stuff left over, there's a lot of great places that you can donate things to that will really appreciate it. So here we go for another, and I like this mat, our craft mat, so you can just sew, such easy cleanup. And glue comes off of it real easy too. So we're going to do the same kind of thing, except I'm going to use one of the little different flowers that's in this kit. And this is a cute little flower. So, and it bleeds off the edge too. That one came out real strong. I think I pressed really hard and that one came out, the lines came out kind of thick. So, and I used, what did I do with this? Here's the little stem. Now I didn't get that close enough, so I'm going to have to do something. Yeah, then I needed to take that sentiment off of there because I can't see what I'm doing. And so now I'm going to do a leaf. Oh, this is a different leaf. Yeah, and I like that one. So I'm just trying to figure out, I need to deal with that thing at the bottom there. But I'm going to do some bleeding off the edge on with this little stamp. So that one, and this is getting second generation. The thing about using second generation, see, it almost looks like there's depth there because it's in the background. So you kind of look like you've got multiple layers going on there just because one is in the background and so much lighter. So that's a kind of a fun technique, not just for, different colors, but to kind of show that there's, some depth going on. And I'm going to use second generation to help fill in that gap a little bit, not nearly enough. Probably should have used the darker one there and the lighter one up top. And then I think that this is an itty bitty flower. Okay, so I'm going to use second generation flower. there. I like that he's a cute little flower. And a second generation. It's very cute. Kind of going wild on the second generations here. Could have used that as a first generation. You know, it's nothing like being your own critic, yeah. Giving your own critique while you're watching what you've done already. Anyway, so silly. So this is one of the thin cuts from the first go around, and this was the one that had multiple colors on it. So, and I used some of the 3M Post-it note tape, but I'm just going freehand here. And I'm just kind of trying to fill out just only that part, the bulb that's only in smoothie, and keep it off of the leaves. Did pretty good. And now I'm going to turn it around and do the leaves and keep it off the bulb so I can have a little stick-up piece. This is going to get foam on it and pop up from the background. So let's see. How did she do? Pretty good. Pretty good. That's a cute little thing. It's weird, but it's a cute little thing. And so I'm using one of my leftover Pop-It pieces from, I think it was Heart Shaker cards that I was doing. So in fact, I should be getting a box with more Heart Shaker pieces in it so I can make some more cards. I was running on a roll making the Heart Shaker cards and done ran out of my Heart Shaker windows. It's like, what the heck? How'd that happen? Okay, what is she doing? She does not know. Lucky to call you friend. Okay, now that's for absolutely no good reason, that card. That's just saying, you know what? You mean a lot to me and I really like you. And I'm glad we're friends. Okay, so here we go, splattering. I think I need to hit myself harder. Or just not splatter too much. There, that's enough, actually. I didn't see how much I actually got there. Put my little leaf away. You don't want to lose your little pieces. There's a couple of little pieces that I have misplaced. If they drop on a dark floorboard, there you are on your knees feeling around for pieces that are really small. So you want to make sure you put your pieces back fairly quickly after you've used them. So I'm just putting stuff on the one side here because I was afraid that that part was still wet. And so now I'm just kind of doing my equidistance eyeballing. And look at how nice that looks on the nectarine light side. It's pretty, right? Okay, so now I've got to do the Tombow on the back. And we're almost finished with 4 cards already. So, and the 4 cards, for some reason my video would not, which is why I'm rambling, my video would not speed up my film today. I don't know what happened. I probably need to reboot my computer, but it would not speed up. So this is full time here, full length time, and it ends up being about 40 minutes to make these cards. So the only couple of extra pieces I had were some thin cuts that I had already done. Otherwise, 4 cards, 40 minutes. So 10 minutes a card. You would spend more time than that driving to Walgreens, looking at all the cards, paying for the gas, paying $6, $7, $8, $9 for a card, and here in 10 minutes, in 40 minutes, you've made 4 cards. Is that 10 minutes a card? Or am I doing my math wrong? I think that's right. 4 minutes, 10 minutes a piece, times 4 times 10 is 40. So 40 minutes. So here we are. And they're pretty cards, too. I'm proud of those. So I'm just kind of laying out all 4 cards so you can see what they all look like. And the inks I used were Green Apple, Smoothie, and Lagoon. And there's the Lagoon shimmer brush. And all this information is down below my video. So, and this came in the Blossom workshop. So there's the Lagoon, there's the Smoothie, and there's the Green Apple, and there's my Lagoon. So look at that. I think they came out really pretty. I'm happy with that, and I would be fine with sending that to anybody I love. So if you like it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch me. I sure appreciate it. And make some cards for people you love. It's of all times we need to let people know we care about them. Bye now.